Welcome, bienvenidos. This is Roxanne from MetamorphosisRox, the place to be where you want more than tea. We're going to start with a check-in because we always do. So give me a second because people are not getting my notifications. This might have something to do with people are saying that their views are down, probably because your notifications are not going out. So keep that in mind when you're complaining that your views are down. If you think it's bad for you, imagine all of us small creators that are getting nothing, because it is what it is. So it is what it is, and it's not what it's not. So I'm going to give it a couple minutes to see if anybody's awake, because I am normally not this early. What do I do? What I do? Ooh. Am I even live? Let me check that I'm live. The sad reality that I have to come here and look on my phone to see if I'm live, because this thing is not telling me. Oh, okay. I guess I am. So today we're going to have a little chat about something, and I know I said, really, dude? Go to sleep. I know that I said that there was a language advisory, so I'm not going to keep it civil. I'm just giving it a minute. You're not doing anything wrong. Hey, Vanessa. Yes, you are first. Hello, Juliana. Hi, Lily. How are you all doing? How are you holding up? Are you having a good day? I was having a great morning, and then I started watching stuff, and I was like, ugh. And then I opened Twitter, and it was worse. Hey, Moody. Just woke up. I figured you guys were sleeping, so. Hey, Megan. I'm going to try to keep it civil while I'm saying hi to you people. I'm warning you. If the words come out, the words come out. I don't care. Today is one of those days. Her state is taking back stimulus check if you owe money. Well, my state doesn't charge taxes, so I don't have to worry about that. But that is the whole point of the stimulus check, is to stimulate the economy, which is why it's called a stimulus check. And we'll get into that a little later. But that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Hey, Marisol. Freaked out and ran to the bed. Morning, B-Rad. Hobie owes back. They're supposed to. If you owe back, the only thing that they're supposed to take money out is for back child support. Hi, Ming. Hi, Lori. I'm going to drink me some water. And yes, this is water. It is water. Not sponsored. It is Evian. Well, at this point, it's half Evian, half tap water. Good morning. I digress. All right. In the old days, I used to wait until I had 10 people, and then I would start talking. But because we're doing a check-in, let me know how you guys are doing before I start ranting, because this is a rant. It's a rant. It's going to be a rant. We pay on that every month on top of regular child. Yeah. And it's one of those things that it bothers me up to a point. I understand like deadbeat people, but if somebody's actually paying and for some reason they got like a little sidetracked or something happened, why are you bothering them, people? Just give them the money. I mean, seriously. Hey, Ohio. We got ours yesterday and paid our bills because we still haven't heard anything from the unemployment. Oh my God. How long has it been now? 3 weeks? They're taking back checks for debts owed. That kind of defeats the purpose of helping the economy and helping individuals struggling to pay bills right now. Correct. Listen, right now I have to up my internet speed because I have my daughter's coming to work from home, and I was trying not to do it, but I'm gonna have to because if not, I'm not gonna be able to live stream, and she's not gonna be able to work. So I already have an expense. Now, lucky for us, she got hers. We haven't gotten ours, and we're not probably not gonna get ours because they're probably gonna send it in the check. Even though I had a payment plan with them until recently, so they have the information of my bank account. Whatever. I'm good. Woke up early and decided to go with it and be productive. I started out, hey, Donna. I started out, there's this video. And if you guys have been looking at my Instagram or my Twitter, you know what the video has, you know, some of what the video is about because it was the pictures that we took last week. There is a point to that video. And the point has kind of slightly shifted in recent days. And this morning, I scrapped the entire voiceover and I started rewriting it again. And I got a little emotional, so I had to stop. And that's when I went outside my door, meaning the bedroom door. And my husband was watching the news and I heard something. And then I went to Twitter and I saw something and I was like, I only watch 5 minutes of news a day because I don't want to get bombarded with this crap. But I'm over it. That's why I'm having a rant. And you'll find out why in a minute. Hey, Poisonous. Hey, Leah. All right, so I have more than 20. So let's go. Anybody else is feeling good, is feeling bad? Tell me. He messed up 10 years ago and turned into back to. Ooh. Yeah, but here's the thing. You're paying now. So if it was somebody that's not paying at all, I can understand that. But if you're paying and you're trying to catch up or you have a payment plan or something, that should be enough. Hey, Lorna. Oh, good morning, afternoon. I think maybe we only will get more mine and not his. That could happen, Vanessa. That could actually happen. It's one of those times when I'm glad I don't have any previous marriages or children or anything like that. Stupid interest means it goes up every month no matter what we pay on it. I know. See, that's what I would do. I would go ahead and put like some sort of cap on the interest so that people can catch up. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to do, and I mean for people that are trying to do the right thing, deadbeats, no, screw them. Make them pay whatever interest you want. But for people that are trying to make it happen, yeah, no. Hey, Frog. Yeah, smash that like button. There's 24 people watching and 5 likes, and God knows how many dislikes. Actually, I can find out. Because that's why I have the phone. Where am I? Let's see. We have, stop. Oh, shocker. None. I guess they're sleeping. Yes, we're 50. We're so grateful because we had a, yeah, I'm telling you, the only reason why I wanted the check to get here on time is because I need to fix the car. And this is the perfect time to get the car fixed because there's nobody at the mechanics. But yeah, it's not happening. I don't think it's happening. Thank you, Vanessa. All right. So let's start. And I'm going to start slow. I'm going to start calm. And I'm probably going to get more heated as I go along. So I'm giving the warning a second time. You have to have these 2 things in order for me to tell you this is the one to skip. You have to be a Trump supporter that wants businesses to open back up. If you're a Trump supporter, but you don't want businesses to open back up, you can say. If you're a Trump supporter and you want businesses to open back up, this might not be the rant for you. Because I've had it. I'm tired. And if I have to sit here and be miserable, so does everybody else. And you know what I mean. So Thank you, Lorna. Hey, Susan. All right. So let's backtrack a second. Just for you all to know, Asia, meaning Hong Kong, whatever, however you say the name of the town in China that started this whole thing, and I think Thailand was the other place, are seeing spikes on, after they reopen their country, they're seeing spikes on corona cases. And yes, you can, for every single creator that's worried about using the word corona, you can use the word corona on your videos and on your live streams, so long as you're not providing misinformation. I am providing information based on the news. So if you want to demonetize me, YouTube, keep in mind that I'm going to fight you, and this is how I'm fighting you, because this was in the news. Thank you. Anyway, I think they're talking about misinformation about the actual treatment and stuff. I'm not going to get into that. But Wuhan, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, girl. I'm just trying not to say it because I sound stupid. But, you know, that geriatric Spanish comes into the English and messes it up. And if you don't get the joke, you're better off. So anyway, there has been at least, and Amy was not here right now, but Amy asked me, why can't we stop talking about this? And this is exactly why. This week, we've had some sort of protest somewhere every freaking day, including one in Canada. I thought better of you, Canada. Obviously, I was wrong. Let me start with the case for the business owners, because I can talk about that calmly and then move on to what I want to say. If you're a business owner and you reopen your business and you force your employees to come back and somebody gets sick, Ted Cruz is not going to help you. The Michigan protesters are not going to help you. The Canadian protesters are not going to help you. Trump is not going to help you. You're going to get sued, more than likely, especially if the person dies. And then your customers are not going to want to be with anywhere near you because you put them in danger. That's not a smart business move. I just found out from my husband that oh my God, what's his name? Hold on. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of Chase, told his shareholders, not the news, not the president, told his shareholders they're not planning on opening until sometime between July and August, meaning the end of summer. Now, I keep an eye on Chase because my money's in Chase. Not my favorite bank in the planet, but I can vouch for the fact that when there is some sort of emergency, they tend to be very good with their customers and with their employees. I can vouch for that personally. So I'm not surprised by his decision. Any smart business owner knows that if anything goes wrong because they open too soon, they're the ones that are going to get blamed. And you know what? We have every right to blame you, because if my ass is staying home, you need to figure out a way of having your employees, especially in a bank. If you are in a bank, you should be able to use your debit card to deposit money and retrieve money. You don't need the employees to be there unless it's an emergency. Now, mind you, at least in my town, the Chase banks have these partitions that are like this thick because they're bulletproof. I don't see any need for them not to be at work. I would make them wear gloves, but other than that, because they are protected. Not all banks have that. So I understand if banks close. I personally think a bank is an essential service. So, hi, live and learn. So, yeah. The supermarket is an essential service. Essentially, these protesters are looking at float waters outside of a sandbag wall, and because their feet are dry, saying, tear down the wall. Gonna get into that, Leah. I'm just trying to stay calm, and I'm not doing a very good job. Believe me when I tell you that I'm about to break one of my fingers because I'm trying to stay calm. Supermarkets. they need to stay open, but they also need to stay stocked, which means we need to stop panic shopping. I was about to buy another pack of toilet paper when I realized I have 2 at home. Now, I don't have enough toilet paper for a month, but I have enough toilet paper for now. So hopefully people won't, go insane. There are certain businesses that are essential and they should stay open. Now, if you have a place like Walmart or Target where they sell everything, I do have a problem with the idea that you close certain areas because people need a distraction. And if the distraction is to go to Target and get the latest freaking video game or get a camera so they can sit in the freaking window and take pictures or whatever it is, let them. Right now, I just placed like 4 orders with Amazon. All for this, all for the channel. I have to wait till May to get everything because there are things that are not essential and blah, blah, blah. Well, companies that have the ability to create a system where you can have, what do you call these things that fly in the air? Drones delivering products should have already figured out how to have less employees working in a factory, and not in a factory, in a storage unit, getting stuff. I'm just saying. Because I don't know if y'all remember. Hi, Amy. I just talked about you. I don't know if y'all remember, but about a couple of years ago, Jeff Bezos was boasting about the fact that he was going to have drones doing deliveries for freaking Amazon. Well, then, instead of focusing on drones, you should have focused on machines, robots, getting the stuff out of the stock room so you can have the 6 feet between employees and you don't have to worry about it. I'm not saying eliminate all the employees. I'm saying have. Because, by the way, if you take employees from one area, you can put them on another area, customer service, which would mean, hello, they can work from home. They should, with places like Walmart keeping non-essential areas open. It opens up more items and space to be infectious and make more employees have to work. Yeah, but that's the thing. I just went to Target yesterday, okay? Don't ask me why I went to Target because I know I had to go get something that was like now. But I went through the whole thing because I took advantage of the situation. They did not have more employees than usual. And let me say something about retail in general. Just so you people know. Retail is cheap as fuck, okay? And what I mean by that is that if they can have a store running with 10 employees, they're going to bring 9. I know because I used to work retail. And it used to bother the shit out of me every time I went to Macy's looking for an employee for help and they only had 1 or 2 people per floor. On the areas of, like, for example, the 2nd floor of the Macy's here in Sanford, there's men's, there used to be children's, then they have sportswear for men, and on this side they have housewares. We had 2 people in housewares, 1 person in menswear, 1 person in sportswear, 1 person in babies. If they can, and there were days, Monday and Tuesday, or a rainy day when that makes sense because there's nobody in the store. But on a Friday, you need 3 or 4 employees on the floor. So this whole idea that you have more effect, bullshit, because they never put more employees. They don't. They just don't. And by the way, Target is hiring. If you think I'm going to expose myself to the coronavirus for $13 an hour, I'm sorry. Fuck them. That's not happening. I am not exposing myself for $13 unless it's $13 and hazard pay. If you have $13 and once a month you give me $500 for hazard pay, then I'll consider it. But no. Hey, Skip. The people that are protesting, I always come back to the example of Boris Johnson. I don't know if you remember Boris Johnson. For whoever doesn't know who Boris Johnson is, he's the Prime Minister of the UK. Boris Johnson was shaking hands with everybody until he landed his ass in the hospital. The man his father was saying, I don't give a crap about the coronavirus. And he was being just as stupid as his dad. Well, guess what happened? Boris Johnson lands in the hospital. all of a sudden, Corona is not a hoax or news or fake news. I have Corona. And by the way, the man, his partner was pregnant. Is pregnant. Okay? So you're not only risking your own life, you're risking your partner's life and their baby. What happens to this motherfucker? He ends up at intensive care. Now, mind you, I can't stand Boris Johnson and I can't stand Trump. I don't want them dead. But I want them both to experience, if it's not going to be somebody close to them, so that they have to sit in a hospital with somebody with coronavirus with no protection, because since they say this is a hoax and this is baloney and there's nothing wrong and nothing's going to happen to me, sit there in a hospital with somebody that's dying. So what happened to Boris Johnson? Not only did he end up in intensive care, if you listen to the message he posted on Sunday, which is the first time the man ever acted like an adult, he actually said that he had a period of 48 hours. Hey, Kelly. Hi, Joe. There was a period of 48 hours where he didn't know if the situation was going to go one way or the other. I don't know about you, but I read between the lines. And to me, that means there was 48 hours that he didn't know if he was going to make it or not. And now all of a sudden, he's taking it seriously. All those fucking protesters that don't have anything better else to do than to expose more people to the stupid virus need to have somebody in their lives or go to the hospital and sit with somebody, because I'm tired of hearing this is fake news. And I'm sorry, because I know I have Trump supporters on the chat right now, but this is all Trump's fault. Because after you've been yelling for 3 years that this is all fake news, why are you surprised that people are not taking this seriously? And then you have the goal to say that we should open back businesses. Has Italy opened back businesses? Has Spain? And like I said in the beginning, Asia is having to consider shutting down again because their numbers are going back up. You're a fucking moron. Any politician, I don't care which party they belong to, and yes, I'm aware that some Democrats are just as stupid as some Republicans, okay? You don't have to remind me. Any politician that thinks that money is more important than human lives right now is a moron. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you might make some money now, but guess what's going to happen when people start dying again? The people that were your customers are not going to come back because they're dead. Dead. Oh, we have 22 million people unemployed. And do you really think that those people want to risk their lives for $10 an hour? Because I sure as fuck don't. I have a kid outside right now. And lucky for me, her CEO is doing everything possible to send them home. So at this point, because this is something that people didn't think about, but I did because I worked with computers all my life. And I'm going to do a side to get to the point. When you have businesses calling to buy computers, computers are not built in a day. Computers go through an assembly line. You might have an assembly line that builds 20, 40, 100, 150 computers a day. When you're ordering 4,000 computers, you're not going to get them tomorrow. That's what I'm trying to say. So obviously, all these companies that have customer service centers that are sending their employees home are not going to get all 4,000, 5,000, 20,000, 40,000 computers in one day. It's just not going to happen. And keep in mind, some of the components in the computers come from China. Guess who's been on lockdown for months now? So figure the odds that you're going to get computers for everybody. So going back to the example of the case of my daughter. My daughter works customer service. They've been trying to send them home for 3 weeks now. They couldn't send them home because they didn't have enough computers. So now they're trying, because we have laptops, to see if the laptops are compatible so that they can go ahead and install the software in our computers and get the headset and get her home. At this point, that probably means that I'm going to lose my laptop for the foreseeable future, because while she's working, I'm not going to have my laptop, which puts a dent on my life, but it's a dent that I'm very much willing to pay in order for my daughter to be home. If I have to scrap the entire memory of this freaking computer so I can work from here, I'll do it. I don't have a problem with that. I don't really want to talk about any of these beauty influencers anyway, so I'll just go ahead and freaking sacrifice all the screenshots I have. I will. Hey, Christine, because to me, it's more important to get my daughter home. And what people seem to forget, hey, Kim, I've only worked for 1 hour this week. My hospital census down to about 1/3 full. So everywhere in my hospital is losing hours. And that's the thing. You have hospitals that are losing hours and you have hospitals that don't have enough staff. Because it depends on where you are too. And that's another thing that bothers me. If you're fortunate enough to live in a town or a county that doesn't have any cases, consider yourself lucky, shut up and go home. Because this thing does not discriminate. Hi, Alessia. This thing really. Hey, Saya. Hi, how are you? Hi, Janice. This freaking disease does not discriminate. And this whole idea that, oh, you're old. The only people that die are old. You're a moron. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Because it's ridiculous that we're going through this right now. And it is the fault of the governments because some governments didn't act quick enough. Good. Well, I think we're all tired, Saya. I'm in Tampa, Florida. My hospital is really trying to help people get hours. But Tampa doesn't have that many cases. What county are you? What county is Tampa? Because I can't remember. Because I don't think you guys have that many cases, do you? I mean, you had the first. Miami's the side that is like all messed up. Bye, Paradox. Ugh. Sorry. 20, 30-year-olds passing from this. Yeah. You've had 20 and 30-year-olds. We had an 8-month-old. I mean, it's crazy. I hang on to them screenshots. Well, I'm gonna start giving people screenshots because they're old. Some of them are really old, but I know I'm gonna need them later, and I probably gonna have to scrap this freaking memory. Hey, Bacon. You want to say was in the news today because of the death total and the pulling back of the funding to the WHO. Yeah, we're not gonna even go there because let me tell you something. Florida did not declare any new cases yesterday. But a news station said that there were 600 cases already. The last time we reported, we have 524. So 76 people died. That's in January, but he's to blame. So I disagree. Like that stupid doctor who is lying. No, no, no. He put a ban on flights to China. That was a dumb move because China was not the only place that was infected. He left countries open that were infected. That's where I have a problem. Because it's very easy to say, I'm going to ban the flights to China. That didn't solve the problem, obviously. He acted too slow. He's not the only one. But he acted too slow. And at the end of the day, when you put money over people, and this is the problem, Frog. He's putting money over people. And you know, that whole thing about conflict of interest that everybody kept telling him to let go of his businesses because he's the president now. He has an entire bailout system for businesses. Do you really think that if the hotels ask for money right now, people are not going to kill him on Twitter? They are, because he shouldn't be asking for bailouts. He's the president. That's why he should have left the company running to people that had nothing to do with him. Because the problem is, yeah, I'll leave it to my sons, and then he'll put his sons in government. You still have a conflict of interest. You can't do that. I don't care if it's a law or not. Morally and ethically, it's wrong. Italy, Pakistan, France, Spain, and UK had a lot of cases at that point that Trump banned. That's what I'm saying. The airlines was the first thing he should have tackled, and he should have said no more flights until we figure out what the hell's going on. Indiana had several of the factories that will be producing massive amounts of PPE and ventilators, but our governor is threatening to reopen, so the workers will be exposed and unable to make. A sailor in the USS Theodore Roosevelt died from COVID-19. The Navy is keeping ships from coming back from deployment. Of course, I don't blame them. I need to know. Okay, I can't see it because I guess it moved too far. Tampa is in what county? Hillsborough. Okay, then yeah. Hillsborough is the top 10. Okay, she can use either. Thank God. I don't have to sacrifice my computer, apparently. Hillsborough County has 813 cases. You are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're the 5th highest, but you're nowhere near 1,000. Tampa's pretty, Hillsborough is pretty spread out. And Orange County has 1,000, and I'm not in Orange County, but I am close enough to Orange County to where I don't want to go anywhere near Orange County. Yeah, that's another thing. All these people are like, all hails Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a con artist. Oh, I'm going to do this. And then he doesn't do it. And then, because everybody wants to be in his good graces, because I don't want to say the other expression I feel like saying, he'll go ahead and they'll squash the story. We're going to find out anyway. Internet is 24/7, you idiots. The only thing is, it's going to look bad on CNN if they squashed it, because why did you squash it? Hey, Christina. Michiganders who were horrified yesterday. I know, sweetheart. We don't blame you for what the Michigan people did. And that's the thing. Hey, Tanya. And that's the thing that I want to make the case for. Just because some people in Canada had a march doesn't mean that I think all Canadians are stupid. I just think the ones that were marching are stupid. Just because some people in Michigan had a march doesn't mean, a protest doesn't mean that I think all Michigan, however you say it, are stupid. I just think those people are stupid. At the end of the day, especially if you're at a high risk, and I'm going to do another aside to get to the point. Yesterday, I had a friend who had a post on Instagram where she was talking about the fact that she hadn't slept in a couple days. Now, my friend has autoimmune disease, okay? So my friend is super high risk. Not a little, super high risk. So this person comes to her feed and starts whining about how she has to work, and at least my friend can sleep whenever she wants. And we're sitting there like, do you not understand how autoimmune diseases work and how when you're having insomnia, you're not sleeping? But I'm high risk because I have to work outside the home. Just for the people that don't understand the concept of high risk, Frog, you're giving me exactly what I'm saying. Not all the news reports are lying. Okay? Unless you have people on the daily on your Facebook talking about the last person in their family that just died, I don't want to hear it. Because in the last 4 days, I have had to leave Facebook in less than 5 minutes, because every fucking day I get at least one person who lost somebody. And they all lost them to Corona. And we're not talking about people that were supposed to die. I'm talking about young people. Okay? So I don't care, because I'm actually watching Trump from his own freaking mouth, and especially from Twitter, what he's saying. And he's not taking care of the problem. And if I was going to believe anybody, I would believe Fauci, and I would believe actual people that are experts on the topic. I don't believe the newscast necessarily. So don't tell me that I believe the news just because. Because by the same token, somebody can tell you, oh, well, you just believe Fox News, who spent an entire month saying that this was a lie. And now they have their host from Fox and Friends who actually had corona. But this is a lie and this is just a flu. And keep in mind, yesterday they were interviewing a person that has been testing positive for corona for 4 weeks, has no symptoms whatsoever. And either their partner or their son, I can't remember, has been testing positive for corona for 6 weeks. Neither one of them has any symptoms. But you know what can happen if you're hanging out with those people? You can get it. Because that's the problem with this disease. Nobody knows enough. I don't know if you remember, because Frog, you're my age, so you should remember. Do you remember when AIDS started? Because I do. When AIDS started, nobody knew who got it or why people got it or why people didn't get it or nothing. Because unfortunately, the rumor was that somebody did something they shouldn't have done with a monkey. Instead of just thinking that the monkey scratched them, they thought the worst. And that's how the rumor started. When gay people started getting it by the truckload, people assumed that straight people wouldn't get it. They forgot about prostitutes. Not everybody that's gay is out of the closet. There's people that are bisexual, so they were having sex with both men and women. And then you got people that had hemophilia, or however you say the name of the disease. And guess what? People were donating blood. They were not getting tested for, hi Karen, they were not getting tested for the blood. And people that were sick were getting bad blood. And once you have one person that gets a blood transfusion with bad blood, you don't know how many people you're going to contaminate because you have no idea how many people that person is with. And that's the problem. You can say, no, the news are fake and the news are exaggerating. And you know what is true? Not only are the news not exaggerating, the numbers of this disease are all off. Not just in China, not just in Italy, not just in the US. Everybody has the numbers off. You know how I know? Because the last time they did an estimate, for every 1,000 people that needed a test, only 7 were getting tested. The state of Florida has 21 million residents. 200,000 people have been tested. That's not even 1% of the population. Let that number sink in. Ryan White was a hemophiliac. Exactly. I remember him. The problem here is not whether the news are trying to scare you or whether or not the news are inflating numbers. I can guarantee you the numbers of actual people running around in this country with coronavirus is a lot higher than we know. Because we don't have enough tests. And you can get mad at every freaking TV station, from Fox to CNN to MSNBC to ABC, CBS. Name your favorite news station here. I don't look at news because I refuse. I watch 5 minutes in the morning of whatever he's listening to. And let me remind you, Frog, my husband is Republican. So it has nothing to do with political affiliation either. And we're both very aware that this is worse than we think. There's a reason why every time I walk out of this house, I have to, oh, I took it down. I have to walk with a mask and I have to wear gloves and I wear clothes that I can just throw in the wash over the clothes that I'm actually wearing. And I try to stay in the car for as long as possible. And at this point, because I have a little bit of money put away, I can actually go ahead and order stuff and have it delivered to the car. There's a reason why that happens. And that's because we're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. And the longer people instead of focusing on what really matters, keep saying, well, this news station is lying and this news station is lying. We're not going to solve the problem. Governments, and I'm not just talking about the US, governments acted incorrectly and they're still acting. Do you know that there are countries that have cases of coronavirus and they haven't done a lockdown yet? And if you don't believe me, look it up. I will tell you it's in Europe. I'm not going to tell you what country it is. There's at least 2 that I know of. And I'm not saying that they had to be perfect because this is an emergency that nobody expected, okay? What I'm telling you is the problem is that once you figure out this is an emergency, you need to do something. Because the idea that he can open the country back up and the governors have to do what he says, I'm sorry, this is not a monarchy. He's not a king. And yesterday he had the balls to say that he was going to reopen the country. He doesn't make that decision. And by the way, let me be very clear about something. Because we are in America and everybody has freedom of certain freedoms. Trump can say tomorrow that he wants the country reopened and no business has to do what he says. None. No governor has to do what he says. No business has to do what he says. And the problem, hi Evelina, and the problem with this whole thing that each governor decided when they were going to close their state is that now you have completely different timelines for every state in the country, which is why he should have made the order. Because you see, Florida just started 2 weeks ago, but there are other states that started 2 weeks before that. If you have people traveling from state to state, you're carrying the freaking virus with you. That's why he should have done a full order, but he never did it. And the proof is in the pudding. We still don't have a federal lockdown, do we? You can't, you can, hi Don, you can defend him all you want, and you can think all you want about the news media and whatever you want. But the bottom line is, everybody here fucked up. And we, the people that don't have any money, we're not in the top 1%. We cannot afford the best doctors in the planet. Hi, baby, bega. We are the ones that are paying the price for this. What? It was predicted this back in 2015 and a TED Talk saying that we're not ready for a major outbreak. We're not. You know what's funny? Before Bill Gates predicted this, how many books have been written about a pandemic that was going to destroy the entire world because we weren't ready for this? I can name at least 3 writers that have done something. The other day, I don't know if you all saw this, but the other day, somebody told Stephen King on Twitter, I feel like I'm in one of your books. And you know what he answered? His answer was, I'm so sorry. And I'm laughing because we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice right now. But I can tell you this. I'm not going outside except for the emergency trip that I have to make tomorrow. Because now, of course, if my daughter's going to come work from home, we have to buy her a headset and whatnot. We've had warnings that this was going to happen. And if you don't believe me, AIDS, Ebola, do I have to keep giving you examples of other ones? I mean, how many years have we not been dealing with the flu in the United States? And nobody did anything about it. And the funny part is that they're so concerned of the economy. Every other country in the planet is on lockdown too, so nobody's winning. There's no country doing better than any other country. We're all screwed. And for what? So that you can make a little money now because you'll be one of the first to reopen. And then as soon as somebody gets sick or dies, you're going to get a lawsuit so big you're going to lose everything you made now and everything you made last year and everything you did the year before because you're a moron. And the part that cracks me up the most, Oh, because people are getting depressed. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Politicians don't believe in depression and anxiety and any other stuff. So why are you talking about that now? Do you think it's easy to sit in your house? And in my case, sit in my room, which is, I don't know, 12 by 10 or something like that. I don't know how big this room is. And sit here all day because my husband's working in the living room and I can't make noise because if I make noise, I just, they hear it and whatnot. My entire life has been uprooted from what I normally have as a life because of this. Do you think that doesn't affect people? It does. Do you think I'm not aware that I have a lot of friends, Joe being one of them, who have to like basically not see their children because they're taking care of other people, which is the irony of all of this, and that doesn't affect them? Of course I do. Do you think I like the idea that there's 22 million freaking Americans that are unemployed at this particular moment, claiming unemployment because they have been furloughed or fired or laid off or whatever you want to call it today? I know because I've lived through this. I come from a little island called Puerto Rico where one year a governor who, needless to say, did not win re-election, decided that he wanted to make the government smaller because the biggest employer in Puerto Rico, I don't know if it's still true, but it used to be the Puerto Rico government. So he decided he was going to start firing people willy-nilly, and he did. And guess what happened? The entire economy tanked 2 years before we had the 2008 situation here. You know why? Because this is what this moron didn't think about. You have two people in a house, a mom and a dad, and they both work for the government, and you just fired both of them. How are they going to survive? When are they going to go to the store and shop? Hi, Adele. When are they going to go to the store and shop? They ain't got no money. And then, who was the biggest contractor of people? The government. You know how many people lost their businesses, lost everything? And I can tell you from personal experience because I almost lost my house. I have family that lost their businesses. One of my best friends, her father had a business that had been in business for like 25 years and they lost everything. So as far as seeing economies go to hell in a handbasket, I've lived it. I've lived it. I lost my house thanks to that whole mess because I could never recover from that. I saw people that had had businesses for 50 years lose their business in a day because their main contracts were with the government. And once the government started shutting down offices and contracting, because this is the part that cracks me up. I'm going to fire all these people, but I'm going to hire subcontractors, which, by the way, you have to pay more for. But they don't work for me. Somebody else handles their medical and their insurance and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but you're paying them more, which means in the end, you're paying the same amount of money. I've seen economies collapse like you wouldn't believe. When I came to Florida, it was 2009. What happened in 2008 in the United States of America? When I came to Florida, you would drive down 1792, for those of you who are familiar with the Orlando area. And it would be basically, there's a business here, there's a building here, and there's an entirely vandalized building here. It was a disaster. For every 5 or 10 shops you would see, maybe one was open. If you're not old enough to remember 2008 because you were too young to realize what was going on, I can understand that. But we've been through stuff like this before. This is different. But we have been warned. We've had a lot of viruses go insane and wreak havoc. The number one, I keep saying, was AIDS. And by the way, I want to clear something up for the morons that listen to that lady. I don't know her name, but as soon as I make the comment, you all can tell me who it is. She's a blonde. And her husband is one of the biggest Trump bashers on Twitter, or he used to be. I don't know if he still does it. COVID-19 is called COVID-19 because it started in 2019. There is no COVID-1. There was no warning, you stupid bitch. There's only one COVID. The fact that you actually went on media, and yes, this happened in Fox News, but it ran all over the place. Kellyanne Conway, thank you. And had the goal to say, and she's not the only one who said it, because I saw a clip from Fox News where some dude said it too. You have the ignorance to say something like, well, what happened to COVID-1? There is no COVID-1, you dumbass. There's one COVID. There's one coronavirus 2019, which was shortened to COVID-19. You're a moron. You shouldn't be in the news. You shouldn't be allowed to speak, but that's another story. Kellyanne Conway said that. Well, she's very good at her job, but she's aged like 35 years in 3 or 4. No, she's not a psycho. You people think, you don't understand. This woman is very good at her job. Let me explain something. Excuse me. That's what spin doctors do. You're seeing a master in action. You think she's crazy. You think she doesn't know what she's doing. You really think she doesn't know what she's doing? She knows exactly what she's doing. That's her job. Her job is to turn whatever her boss does and figure out a way of spinning it, which is why they're called spin doctors. That's not just the name of a band, okay? Spin doctor is the term for this job. She can spin anything. Thank you, B-Rat. It is astonishing. Just because we don't agree with her doesn't mean that she's not doing a very good job. Just like I keep telling you, if somebody repeats something enough times, people are going to start to believe it, aka fake news. It's the same thing with snowflakes. Did you know that we used to call Republicans snowflakes back in the day when Obama was president? That's not a new term. That's not a new term. I can give you 5 or 6 examples of it, but I'm not, because my throat is beginning to kill me. But the bottom line is this, and this is what bothers me. If we don't finally figure out a way to all agree to do the right thing, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. Now, mind you, I keep saying Mother Nature is getting even, and this is the perfect example. And if you look at nature, nature is having a field day right now. I mean, LA has blue skies. They haven't had a blue sky in God knows how long. I want to say it was Japan that has blue skies again. There's a lot of places where you can actually see the sky that you haven't seen the sky in years. But if you think this is going to end now and people are going to, and by the way, let me be very clear. I don't know about you, but even if they reopen businesses tomorrow, I sure as fucking go into a goddamn business. Because I'm not risking my freaking neck. I already said there's 2 things I'm going to do as soon as they reopen again. I'm going to go see my mom. And if I can find a hazmat suit, I'm wearing a goddamn hazmat suit, because I'm not risking my ass on an old folks home. Hey, Jennifer. And number 2, I'm taking a week off and going to a hotel and staying the hell away from my family, because I'm sick of them by now. And not that I don't like them, and not that I hate them. I'm not even fighting with them. I'm just sick of being in the same space with them, because I'm used to having the house to myself. And if you think I'm going to do that as soon as they open businesses again, no. Ooh, no. I'm waiting a couple months. Because if somebody going to die, it ain't going to be me. I'm already risking my life enough when I leave to go and get stuff. And I wear the hat, I wear the mask, I wear gloves. closed-toe shoes, long sleeve shirt, long pants. I don't care if I've been doing more laundry in the last 3 weeks than I've done in my entire life. I feel like, because every other day I have a big load of wash. This bitch has always said, I'd rather they say of me, there lives a coward than there dies a hero. Yeah, this time I'm doing that. I switched around a couple of years ago. No, I'm going back to, I'd rather they say there lives a coward, because I sure as hell I'm not risking it. Nope, I'm not. Vanessa, my daughter is a homebody, but she's sick of being closed in the house. Because it's a different thing when you want to do it or when you have to do it because you're sick or whatever, than when you have to do it because you don't have a choice. It can drive you crazy. I need a mask. They're not providing us with one. Yeah. And Frog, you're not the only one. There's a lot of people that are getting the virus, because you have to remember, there are people in this. I heard this morning from a doctor. This is not news. This is his doctor. There are people that are testing negative for the corona and are transmitting it. And I don't know if you remember, going back to AIDS, but I don't know if you guys remember, there was a group of people that did not develop AIDS, but they were HIV positive. They never developed the disease, but they carried it and they spread it. Now, many of them developed the disease later. But by the time you figure it out, unless you're getting tested regularly because you're a population that should get tested, which at this point it should be everybody. Back in those days, there were certain populations that were needed to get tested regularly, and they didn't, and that were spreading the disease. How many husbands do you think wanted to admit that they were on the down low back in those days? How many husbands were willing to admit that they went to prostitutes back in those days? How many people were sick because they had hemophilia or whatever other disease they had? They had a blood transfusion at some point in life. I told the story of my English teacher. I had my 9th grade English teacher. She was strict, but she was amazing. And this woman had a car accident, and she basically broke every bone on her legs because a truck hit her with like wood stuff, wood posts, those electrical posts, but made out of wood. And they made her basically bionic legs because they were metal legs. Well, they used blood transfusions because she almost died, and she kept getting sick, and she was sick for a good 6-8 a year before anybody decided to test her for AIDS. She had AIDS and she didn't know it, and she's gone now. And back in the 80s, that happened a lot because people did not associate certain circumstances with getting AIDS. Well, this is the same exact thing. You have a lot of people that are carrying this thing, but as far as you getting COVID, the thing is, you can get it, and you might be surrounded by people that don't have any symptoms, and you'll be the one. And that's a problem. Until we know exactly what this is and how it transmits and how it works and why some people get mild versions and some people get really, well, die, we should not be risking human lives just for the sake of a few people that are in the top 1% and are going to drop to the 2%. Because at the end of the day, all these millionaires that want their businesses reopened, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about their customers. They care about the money. And they don't want to lose the top 1%, because God forbid they will go from having $1 billion to having $990 million. Oh my God. Because there comes a point, I am a true capitalist in the sense that I want people to make as much money as they can make with their own effort. But there is a point where you have enough millions. Shut the fuck up. And nobody cares about your millions. I was watching Asian Boss, and the doctor said you'll test negative because you need at least 3,000 copies of the virus in your system for it to show positive in the test kit. See? So what does that tell you, Alessia? You know what that tells me? That they need a test that tests lower copies. That would be my logical conclusion. If it doesn't detect until it has 3,000, then you have to find a way of testing for 1,000 or 200 or whatever the magic number is. But that is crazy to me. I had my major accident in 86 and countless transfusions. And I can imagine that's a scary thought right there. I tape up the whole back of the car with trash bag before I go to the come back and wash it all down with. But I can't say that. And shower after I wash it all down. My brother thinks I'm crazy. Well, I stopped taking a hi Linda. I stopped taking a full-on shower because I figured if I wore a second set of clothes on top of the clothes, I could avoid the shower. I just wash my face and my hands and keep going. But I've been doing that my whole life because my dad was a germaphobe. I have to go check on my grandma. Bye, Susan. Hey, Jeannie. That's what I concluded too. Yeah. If your test only detects 3,000 copies of the virus in your system, you need a better test. And we've had time because this started in 2019. It's been 4 months. And I understand 30% false negative. Yeah, because Jeannie, what she was explaining is that she was watching a doctor that said that the test only detects 3,000 copies of the virus on your system. So if you have 100 copies of the virus in your system, you're going to test negative. But you have the virus and you can spread it. We need better tests. I'm speechless. But going back to my friend, because I forgot to finish that story. I have a friend who had somebody come at her because she was tired and, well, I work, at least you can sleep. And then she said she was high risk because she works outside. And I said, and I remember getting to this part and I didn't finish it. I said, you are not high risk because you're working outside of the house. You are high risk if you already have one of the conditions that makes you high risk and you're working outside of the house. If you're a perfectly healthy human being, you're not considered high risk, even though you're working outside. So if you are morbidly obese, if you're diabetic, if you're asthmatic, if you have an autoimmune disease, if you have AIDS, that would be high risk. If you're over 60, you're high risk. But the simple fact that you have to go outside of the house to work, no, that doesn't make you high risk. And to come at somebody and yell at somebody on their freaking feed, because the part that cracks me up is the person got snippy in my friend's timeline, and I'm sitting there like, you're a moron. And then told her to shut up. Which was the best part. I was like, wait, you came to her page and told her to shut up, even though you're the one who came with the attitude? I'm speechless. I'm speechless. But just so you guys know, MS is a high risk now. Thank you. MS is high risk. So you have all these diseases that make you high risk. The simple fact that you're outside on the street doesn't make you high risk. I wanted to clear that up because after I had the argument with this person, I was wondering if other people. Yeah, Vanessa, your husband would be the perfect example. COPD makes him high risk. And he's working. He is high risk. But this person did not have any ailments. They're not high risk just because they're outside. Oh, well, I can give it to my father. Uh-huh. And your point here is you're still not high risk. Your dad is high risk. They can only become high risk if they have a condition. You don't just become high risk because you're outside. You're a risk of spreading the virus, but you're not a high risk. What's considered a high risk is your health. Has nothing to do with what you do for a living. Welcome back, Tanya. High BP and diabetes. I didn't see BP, but I do know diabetics are high risk. It's not added in Scotland, which is appalling. Of course it does. Hello, Shanoa. So all I'm saying is this, because I'm about to leave, because I've been here for an hour and 5 minutes, and I didn't say all the F-bombs I wanted, because I calmed down a little bit. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, conservative, what's the word? Libertarian, green. I'm missing one. Conservative, liberal. If you're from the UK, the US, Holland, Switzerland, the moon. I don't give a damn where you're from or what you believe in. It is not a good idea to put other people at risk because you think you're going to lose money. We're all losing money. Tanya, you didn't have to yell at me. I'm kidding. People, we are all in here. We're all in this together, and we either survive together or we crash and burn. It's really that simple. And if you think you're the only one that's losing because you're losing money, people are losing their minds. I don't know if you looked at Twitter lately, but Twitter is more of a cesspool than it usually is. Because people are losing their minds because they're locked in their house. I think, was it Nick that said something? Somebody said something about Pornhub being free for the duration. That should tell you everything you need to know. People need an outlet. There were a bunch of people on social media yesterday complaining that they didn't have a man or a woman, that they were lonely in this thing. You know what? You need to get yourself some toys. What is it? Use code VOICE for next discount. Find yourself something to do. I'm on my makeup Twitter, Roxy. I don't see anything negative. Here's the thing, Tanya. I unblocked everybody and I unmuted everybody, and slowly but surely I'm remuting pretty much everybody because I'm sick of it. Hey, Jamie. I'm sick of it. And for every good thing that I see, like Jamie, for example, Jamie, Shelby, Champagne, some other people have like been making amends with each other just to stay civil. They don't have to be best friends. They can just be civil to each other. Okay. For every group of people that I see doing that, I see another group of people being so messy. That is crazy to me. You know, you have somebody like Jen Loves Reviews. Jen Loves Reviews is doing a series where I think it's called Why You Watch and then whatever the influencer. And I think Jackie, I know, was the last one she did. Looking for positive things to say about people. For every person that you have doing that, you have Miss Effing Wonderful having sex on her freaking live stream and being messy. No offense. I don't mind if people want to have sex. Just don't have it on my timeline. That's all I'm saying. So they're all getting blocked. And then you have the haters hating on the hated. And then the hated hating on the haters. When is it going to end? We have more important things to worry about than if you hate somebody. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. It is messy. I agree with you. And the worst part about it, Jamie, is that nobody warned me what I was about to watch. So they send me this clip and I'm not seeing anything. All I'm seeing is a very messy kitchen or whatever the hell room of the house it was. And somebody says, "Oh no, you have to look at the end of the screen on this side." And I'm like, really? Really did not need to see that at all. It's like this morning we have a little retention pond, and I guess the guys had to come and clean something or other. And one of the guys, they had this little boat, and there's two guys in the boat, right? And one of the guys gets up, and I don't know what happened, but as I am picking up a cigarette, all I see is butt crack in front of my face. Well, he was a little distance, but it was still butt crack. And I'm like, and I went like this, and I looked at my husband, and I'm like, yeah, I just saw somebody's butt crack, and that's really not what I want to see in the morning. I know people do it, and I know people have butt cracks, but I really don't need to see them or see you doing whatever it is that you're doing. Do it by yourself. Go away. People pay for that stuff anyway, so she should have just recorded it and sold it on Pornhub. I mean, seriously, give me a break. But we're not gonna survive if we keep doing this. So that's the reason why I was like ranting, because I'm tired of it. People need to stay home. And they really need to stay home, or else we're all gonna die. I'm telling you. Is it true that what? Is it true that YouTube channels are going down on views? I saw that on a thread. I said when I started this live stream that it seems to be true, but I also noticed something else. People are not getting notifications for even if you have the bell on. I'm not getting notifications for any of my channels. So how much of it is it that it's down because people are not watching, and how much of it is that people just don't know that your content is coming up? And if the big creators think that's a problem, think about people like me who are tiny and who depend on every freaking view. That makes no sense to me, but it is what it is, which is why I posted on Twitter, and then I come back here, and then I send some of my friends notifications when I remember, because, ad revenue is way down, but this time of the year, it is always down. So, I'm not surprised. I'm not watching any beauty video. Well, are you not watching because you don't want to watch them, or because you don't get notifications? My subs have been getting notifications like 20 minutes late. Jamie, the other day, was it yesterday that you had a live stream, or you had something? You had one of the victims of the dude. I got the notification. You were already you were already talking to somebody about that you had interviewed the person when I got the notification. So it's not 20 minutes late. Sometimes it's a couple hours late. So, and I have a friend that sent, and this is the worst part. I have a friend that sent me their notification to my live stream on Monday. And an hour after they sent me when they got it, I got mine for my own channel. Really? Really? Because I have one of my channels subscribed to my channel so that I can see when the notifications come out. Guess what? Yeah. I didn't get a notification for this. I just happened to spot it while watching something else. See? Hey, Kabuki. How about the 45 minutes of Connect commercials, which are often TV shows from NBC and others? Thank you. It's down more than what it normally is. A YouTuber I follow was saying that he made more this time last year posting less than this year posting more. And that is frustrating, because at the end of the day, no offense, but I want to get paid. And I'm sure everybody that's monetized wants to get paid. I don't care if I make $10 a month or $1 million a month. I won't get paid. I'll be scrolling through YouTube and see a live, never get notifications. There you go. This came up in my recommended, even though I have the bell. None of your notifications come through. There you go. It is what it is. And, to be honest with you, it's frustrating. Now, I didn't live stream yesterday. I didn't live stream on Tuesday. I'm not going to lie. I was really happy doing something not related to YouTube at all. I'm in the middle of editing a video right now, and I'm seriously considering just taking my freaking time with it, slowing down as much as possible, because I now have to prepare my daughter for coming to work from home. I don't know when that video is going to come out. I'm in no hurry. It's not like I'm going to make any money out of it. That video is going to a channel that's not even monetized, but that's not even the point. The point is, in that channel, I don't care if I get paid. I care if I get at least 10, 20 views. That would be nice. It's frustrating as hell, and I don't know what to tell you. What? Hey, Ricky. How do people from the systematic versus Africa, South and Central America call the white countries right when they are the only ones with ethnicity in government other than majority? You're asking the wrong question to the wrong person, because I'm not going to get into that today, but that's a really good question. It's really annoying not having my subs get notified because my views are around the same as yours and every person counts. Exactly. And that's the thing. Every person counts, but if they don't know you're up, they don't. And the thing about it is, I don't comment on every video that I watch, but I'm still watching as many videos as I was watching before. They're just different. Because I'm not watching drama videos because I just don't want to deal with it. But unless it's a topic like, for example, who was it? I think it was Drama and Opinions. Magdal? She had a video and I watched it because it was something different than everybody else. Everybody was talking about Jeffrey and Lorak, I think it was. And I'm like, bored, next. And I watch, that's just me. But yes, she is. She is hilarious. And she is very good at what she does. So, what do you live stream on? Phone, computer? Shit, if you're asking me, this is an Apple. It's a desktop. And apparently I'm not going to be able to live stream from the other one, because if I have to give it to my daughter, then I can't live stream from the other one. I do have the setup. I do have the microphone. For the people that miss the microphone sitting on top of the bed, right here. And I do have the camera, but I have to wait until tonight to find out if I'm going to use that computer or not. If I use that computer, then I can do I can invite you guys up, because that one has StreamYards. I would still need to learn how to do it. But that's going to happen next week, because if she doesn't use that computer, I'm going to start using that computer. Because this one is driving me bad. It is what it is. And it's not what it's not. Anyway, I'm going to go, because I've been talking forever and my throat is killing me. So you might get a video this week, or you might get a video next week. I don't know. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to start making less content, but I'm going to take my time because I need to learn to edit. And I need to give myself time to edit the way I want to edit. So, love you all. Hey, Boricua. Love you too, my dears. Hey, Faye. I'm hiding in the bushes. Why are you hiding in the bushes? I don't want to know. Anyway, love you all. Bye.